Hi folks, welcome again to the channel. Juan here from Physical Media EU. Today I want to show you one of my favorite items in my collection, this Japanese release of the movie Waves. Hello again, and as I was saying, today we're reviewing this Japanese release of the 2019 movie Waves, directed by Trey Edward Schultz. It's another A24 movie from this channel. Trey Edward Schultz, actually, this is his third feature film. The third film also he does in A24. The first one was Grisha, which was based on a short film that he did before. Then he did It Comes at Night, where actually he met one of the protagonists of this movie, that being Kelvin Harrison Jr., and then they did this movie in A24. And as an upcoming project of him, he's working on an episode of that HBO show Winning Time, that is about the Los Angeles Lakers. He's directing one of those episodes as well. And besides Kelvin Harrison Jr., the movie also features Taylor Russell, who for me is a revelation, and also Lucas Hedges, who was also in mid-90s down here, which I also have already reviewed in this channel. This is also a Japanese release, also one of my favorite items. I think the Japanese are like super good at making releases of almost everything, right? Because also at vinyls they are also amazing. Okay, so let's move on and see a little bit more about this release. Let's begin with the cover. I don't know if it reflects too much in the video, so I move the cover a little bit, so in case the shine can be avoided. And one of the first things the one thing when sees a release like this is like, oh, okay, cool, this is the vinyl for Waves. And in a way I wish, but no, this is the 4K plus Blu-ray release of the movie. So let's take a look at what's inside, so you get a little bit a better sense of what this is. Again, as usual, I will post picture of this release in the Instagram account, which has the same handle, Physical Media EU. You can head over there. You're welcome to follow if you like. There I post pictures of everything that I review in more detail, right? So the video is just kind of a glance, but there you can see better pictures and more in detail. So first thing to describe maybe is that I keep saying album, right? Because it really resembles to an album. But this has this stripe here around here on the back. It has this description of the movies. The first thing we can say is that this being a Japanese release, we need to talk about these regions, right? So luckily the 4K virtually like there are no lock regions for 4K discs, so this can play in any 4K player. That's super cool. Now the disc, it is actually region 1, so you need a region 1 player to play the Blu-ray, I mean. So that's some of the information that is listed here behind. So let's open this. This is also like similar opening as an album. And put here on the side. And there are two things. We'll have the movies on one side and this kind of book that is actually a calendar. So let's begin with taking a look at that. This is the cover. Again, there will be more detailed pictures of this on Instagram. And as you can see, it's a calendar with images. The calendar is for 2021, so just like it's in the past, right? So like now this doesn't serve a purpose as a calendar. To be honest, I'm not sure it ever did, because like this design is like for a calendar, I think it's a little odd, but still it's a very nice booklet of the movie. It has very nice pictures all over. There you can see. Okay, so this is the extra prop that comes with the film. Now let's move forward and take a look at the discs. So the disc comes in this hardcover kind of digibook, I guess, and once you open it, doesn't have anything on this side, and on this side it has both discs, right? Being the 4K and the Blu-ray. Now, one thing to mention is that both discs include they have subtitles, but subtitles are only in Japanese. So if you're not comfortable with just like listening to English, this can be something that is not so good. In my case, I'm good. I just disable the subtitles and I'm fine with that. Now, the 4K disc includes only the movie, so there are no extras there. The extras are only in the Blu-ray disc. Regarding the extras, there's it has like three feature things, or three extra features. The first is like a mini documentary about the movie. It's about, I think, something like 20 minutes long, where they have different cast members of the movie talking about the film, about how they participated, how what they think about the impact of the movie. Second, it has a deleted scene which is like 12 minutes long, so it's very nice. I kind of wish sometimes that this was included in an extended version of the movie or a director's cut, but when these scenes are taken out, this is before post-production, so the deleted scenes normally don't have the post-production treatment that all the rest of the movie has. So it might have like different color, like even maybe different aspect ratio, and so on. So that's, I guess, why like you can't have them as an extended version of the movie. They just come as a separate deleted scene. Regarding the deleted scene, without giving any spoilers, I can say that it adds to the story of the movie. It just adds, it has more detail about things that maybe are like a little fast forward during the movie, and you just kind of have to assume some of the things are kind of happening during this scene. And lastly, it has a set of Japanese trailers. Nothing too special. It seems very similar to the American releases of the trailers, just with voiceover in Japanese. And there's nothing here on the back. So that's pretty much it for the package of the movie. Now let's talk about the picture quality of this film. First of all, Waves is one of the most beautiful films I have ever seen. When I saw that this movie existed in 4K, I was like, I need to have it. I need to watch this movie in 4K. I remember the first time I watched it, it was like in a HD quality only, and just like that, I thought like, okay, this movie is beautiful. But at that time, I didn't even like dream of having like a 4K version of it, especially because it's a movie that it's not a big movie. It's not that successful. The director is not that big, so like the odds of having this in 4K were a little slim, I think. So I found this a few months ago, and later on the video will say how I got it. But I was super happy to find this out and could get it, and like as soon as I got it, started watching the movie because it is great, and in 4K with the HDR treatment, it was absolutely amazing. One of the best, one of the most beautiful movies that I have ever watched. Together with that, the movie is matched with an amazing soundtrack. We'll talk about it in a second, but regarding the audio tracks of the discs, the 4K disc has Dolby Atmos track, which is great because I think like the soundtrack of this movie is amazing. Sadly, the Blu-ray doesn't have that, so you have to just take the DTS HD audio track. And as I said, when I was watching this movie the first time, I was immediately surprised of how beautiful the movie is. And also another thing that impacted me very fast was about the soundtrack of the film. Again, this being a somewhat independent film, the first thing I realized, one of the, I don't know, in the first, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes of the movie, you start to realize that, hey, in the soundtrack they have Kanye West, Frank Ocean, Kendrick Lamar, Amy Winehouse, Tyler the Creator. So that is some of the artists that I also like to listen to. So those really, like, even though they were like maybe songs in the background, it really like tick in my head. And the first thing I thought about that was like, how did they afford those artists, right? They're like top tier artists. And later on the A24 blog, they posted an article that is I think the title is something like, Waves is basically a musical. It's an interesting way to see the movie, I think. So the movie is narrated into two parts, which is a little unconventional because most stories structure is a presentation, a development, and a conclusion. Well, this one only has like two parts, so it's interesting also how the movie is narrated and split in that way. Also, another interesting thing about this film, there's something that I like and appreciate about when they do this in movies, is that it has different aspect ratios depending on how the mood of the story is going. So I found also that very, very interesting. Going back to that A24 article, they also explain how they got this all these artists to this movie, and basically they just like lend the songs. They were contacted by the director, and he was just saying, I have this movie, I would like to participate, I would like to have maybe this song from you and like in this part and so on. And he had to send the movie to this artist, and like I think Kanye was maybe the hardest one, if I'm not wrong, but in the end he actually accepted, and even gave permission to use more than the songs that were originally requested. So about how I got this release. Same as this one, I bought it from Amazon Japan. It is a little pricey, but if you keep an eye on it, maybe you can find it sometimes with some sort of discount. The shipping was about 15 euros, I think, and luckily it was delivered by DHL, and luckily I didn't have to pay import tax. I'm not sure again if I got lucky or if DHL takes care of that, but it was delivered home in less than a week, and I didn't have to pay anything extra. So I was like super happy when I got this film here at home. So since this release is not available in Europe, I will leave in the description a link to Amazon Japan. You can get this version if you want, if it's still available. But you need to consider those things we discussed before. No English subtitles. The Blu-ray regional lock, not the 4K. Shipping, import tax, and so on. As usual, you need to consider those things when importing things from outside of EU. If not, I will also leave the German Amazon link to the Blu-ray version. That is the only other option that we have to get this film. So that was it for the review of the 4K Japanese release of Waves. Like the video, please, if you like it, and you're welcome to subscribe. Also, you can follow me on Instagram with the same handle, Physical Media EU. And lastly, I would like to hear if you have watched this movie, what do you think of it, and what do you think about the soundtrack, which is amazing, or if you think to get it from Amazon Japan and so on. So thank you so much for watching, and see you all at Okie Dogs.